In this universe, Earth is protected by a group of superheroes called the Heroics. When a damaged satellite is found in the atmosphere, Miracle Guy and Techno fly up there to investigate and find a whole army of alien ships waiting for them, which easily knock them out and send them plunging back to Earth. This incident is on the news, which for now calls it a training exercise. Marcus Moreno, the former leader of the Heroics that now only works at the hero's office, is watching this and getting increasingly worried, which is noticed by his daughter Missy Moreno, who has no powers whatsoever. After promising her everything is fine and he won't be rejoining the team as promised, Marcus drops Missy at school, then goes to work at the superheroes' headquarters, which can only be accessed through a special vehicle activated by a worker's access card. The head of the Heroics program, Ms. Granada, wants to send a couple of heroes against the aliens, but when Marcus shows her exactly how big the alien army is, she accepts to send all of them at the same time, including Marcus himself. Ms. Granada also sends some of her agents to pick up the superheroes' children to get them to safety. On the car ride, Missy talks to Marcus through a special bracelet that works as a communicator that her dad also has, but he only checks on her and doesn't tell her what's going on before hanging up. At headquarters, Missy is locked up with the other sons and daughters of the Heroics, and she gets to meet them in their powers. There's Wheels, whose brain is supercharged and must use a wheelchair because his legs are too strong to support his body, Noodles, who can stretch any part of his body, Oho, who is a genius drawer that never speaks, Acapella, who can make her voice go super low or super high and move things with it, Slow-Mo, who can move really fast but his powers have him stuck in a time loop so he actually moves super slowly, Facemaker, who can transform any part of his face and even copy other people's, rewind and fast forward, a pair of twins who can mess with time for a few seconds, Wildcard, who calls himself the leader and has every power that exists but can't control which one comes out next, and Guppy, who has shark strength and can control water, but she constantly needs to stay hydrated. After fooling around for a while, the kids put on the TV to watch their parents fight the aliens, but one by one, the superheroes are defeated and captured by the enemy. The president cuts the transmission to talk to the country, informing them they're sending their army to rescue the heroes but the chances of success are incredibly low. He also reads a message from the aliens saying they're going to take over the planet and humanity should comply or they will be destroyed. Ms. Granada appears on the screen next, telling the children the building is going under lockdown and they should behave. However, Missy thinks they should leave the room because they're about to be attacked. She knows this because she has realized Oo's drawings show the future, proven by the fact she drew what the kids had done in the room before it happened, and now she has a drawing of an alien breaking in as well. The other children agree to follow Missy's plan, even if Wildcard doesn't like the idea of her having more leadership than him. Facemaker tricks the guards into coming into the vault by teasing some misbehavior among them, then Guppy beats them up with her shark strength before Noodles steals their access cards. One of the guards manages to press the alarm button, locking them in as the aliens arrive, but Rewind turns back time so when the guard tries again, Wheels hits him with his chair and Noodles puts them all in handcuffs after stealing a jacket, which he puts on as he stretches his body to look like an adult. The children leave the room with Noodles at the front, pretending to be a guide taking them somewhere else, but Missy bumps into Ms. Granada and blows up their cover. The kids run as the alarm is raised, and almost make it to the door but it is sealed on their faces. However, they still have a possible escape route, the ceiling hatch. Acapella forms a stair by making the guards float and Noodles stretches his arm to open the hatch, allowing the kids to climb up and escape to another floor, where they take the access vehicle thanks to the cards they stole. There are guards already waiting for them outside though, so Acapella uses her powers again to make the vehicle float away from the area. The problem is she can't steer and they'll soon hit a building, so Noodles stretches his arm out of the window and grabs a pole to make them whirl around a couple of times before letting go, sending the vehicle in a new building-less direction. The flight goes well for a couple of minutes until Acapella starts running out of breath, so Missy gives her an address to stop by. Stopping, in this case, means Acapella letting the vehicle drop and it crashing on a garden and its gazebo. The owner of the place is Anita Moreno, Marcus' mother and trainer of the Heroics. They have 2 hours left before the aliens take over, but Anita still takes them all in and promises to train them so they can rescue their parents. While Ms. Granada and her team use the signal of Missy's communicator bracelet to track the kids down, Anita puts them all to train after assigning Missy as the leader. There is an obstacle course, hand-to-hand combat, and walking on a tightrope, but the most important lesson Anita teaches them is how to work as a team. The twins learn how to be in sync with each other and Guppy meditates to control her shark frenzy. Teamwork is a lesson their parents seem to have forgotten because they currently are locked in the same room and won't stop arguing instead of trying to work together. Missy isn't feeling very confident as a leader after failing to give the correct orders, so Anita comforts by telling her that after training many superheroes in her life, the most important one was Missy's dead mother. She didn't have any powers, but thanks to her, Marcus became a good leader that led by example. At that moment, Ms. Granada's men arrive at the house. Anita opens a secret passage for the kids to escape while she's captured by the aliens, and Missy guides them through the tunnel while using the flashlight on Oho's tablet. They need to think of a plan, starting by doing things differently from their parents. They shouldn't use flashy costumes because it would make them easy to find. They should lure the aliens out of the city so they don't destroy buildings, and just put less attention on themselves in general. Missy has a plan in mind and whispers it to Wildcard while showing him something on the tablet that shocks him. He explains the plan to the others while claiming they thought of it together, and the kids get ready for action. Oho's drawings predict a supply alien ship landing nearby, so the children find it and get inside. Slow-mo is too slow and almost gets captured by the aliens, but Noodles stretches his arms and drags him inside before Wheels and Guppy press buttons until the ship takes off. It connects to the mothership and the kids enter it after Noodles stretches his neck to check nobody is around. The place is too big and finding their parents could take forever, so Wheels comes up with an idea. Since Granada could find them thanks to Missy's bracelet, he should be able to modify it to use it as a tracker to find Marcus' bracelet too and therefore all their parents. The group starts following the bracelet signal through the mothership hallways when suddenly, alien tentacles start breaking through the floor and chasing them. They run away and after A Cappella uses her voice to temporarily stop the tentacles so they can reach the door, the children make it to a room with a giant pyramid in it and see the president making arrangements with some strange men to drop that pyramid on Earth in an hour. The kids decide they need to stop it and turn around to leave, only to be found by Ms. Granada, who at first pretends to be mad but then congratulates them for behaving so heroically. The good moment doesn't last long however. Wheels' readings on his screen and Oho's new drawing tell them a shocking truth. Ms. Granada and the now arriving president and his men are actually aliens, who reveal tentacles coming out of their backs. The children are put in a special undestroyable room, and Ms. Granada locks it with a special key after taking away Guppy's water bottle. Their parents are in a similar situation. No matter how much they hit the walls with their powers, they cannot break them. Suddenly, the door opens and an alien enters the room. The superheroes try to attack it, but it easily pushes them all away as if they were normal humans. The alien removes its skin, which was actually just a towel, and reveals to be Anita, who scolds all of them for having dropped training for a year and forgetting all their lessons. Meanwhile, Missy comes up with an idea and starts talking about the fact they won't be able to escape and that there's no future for them. The other kids think it's rather depressing of her to get like that, but soon they catch on and begin saying sad things too so everybody cries, and Guppy can collect the tears to make a key with her powers that they use to open the door and escape. They only have 18 minutes until takeover. Missy thinks they should stop the pyramid, while Wildcard thinks they should rescue their parents and let them handle this. He is angry that Missy took over as a leader and failed, so they end up splitting the group. Wildcard takes Facemaker with him to find their parents while the rest of the group goes to stop the pyramid from dropping on Earth. Ms. Granada is watching them go through this on the security cameras and, when noticing Wildcard and Facemaker argue with each other and split as well, she decides it's the perfect opportunity to capture Wildcard, whose lack of power control and temperament make him a perfect target. They catch him just a moment later, while he's trying to use his powers and failing at it. They take it to another room to interrogate him, but Wildcard answers all their questions with jokes. Meanwhile, the kids arrive at the room with the pyramid, but before they can enter it, they're surrounded by guards. The kids start fighting them hand to hand, except for Guppy, who is trying to stay calm. Missy gives her permission to use her shark frenzy, and Guppy goes all out, taking with her a good amount of guards. Wheels also beats up a nice bunch by sending his wheelchair after them after holding himself up on Noodle's arm, but all these moves aren't enough. The guards just stand up again and release their tentacles before grabbing some chains that were hidden on the ceiling and cuffing the children up. Rewind and fast forward work together to turn back time and Noodles grabs the chains before the guards do, cuffing them instead. When one of the guards takes out a set of keys to open the chains, they turn back time again and steal them before the guards can use them. The group enters the room but when they're about to reach the pyramid, a force field appears around it. When they wonder who could have done this, Oho finally speaks and reveals it was her, who was an alien all along. She's been watching them work and she's disappointed by the lack of teamwork and harmony among them, but Missy proves her wrong by speaking up to Wildcard, who hears her from the control room. It turns out Missy already knew Oho was an alien because she saw it on one of her prophetic drawings, so she came up with a plan. Her fight with Wildcard had been an act to be able to split and reach the control room safely, because the kid that Ms. Granada has right now is actually Facemaker pretending to be Wildcard, who is now pressing the right buttons to deactivate the shield around the pyramid. Ms. Granada and her men go after Wildcard, who has accepted Missy as their leader since the tunnel, and thanks to her believing in him, he can now control his powers. He flies, shapeshifts, uses electricity and a freeze ray at will, and defeats Granada and the men in seconds. Facemaker, now alone, runs away and joins the rest of the team right before Oho starts drawing a bunch of monsters that come to life in front of them. The team combines their powers to beat them up, and Guppy even uses the liquid metal from the pyramid as a replacement for water when she runs out. For the last two monsters, Missy decides she must lead by example and asks Noodles to stretch his arm so she can walk on it like a tightrope and draw the monsters in, falling into the abyss with them when Noodles takes his arm back. Luckily, he's fast enough to stretch it again and grab Missy, bringing her back to the surface before anything could happen to her. Wheels transforms the tablet from his chair into a motherboard to exchange it with the one inside the pyramid, but Oho releases one of her tentacles and pushes it off their hands. The tablet falls into the abyss, which is so deep nobody could survive the fall, except for Slow-Mo. He jumps in and recovers it, and then Wildcard teleports into the room to take him out by flying. Noodles takes the tablet from Slow-Mo and stretches his arm to the top of the pyramid to exchange the real motherboard for their fake right as the clock hits 0 and the pyramid opens to start the takeover. From inside, their parents come out. The kids are confused by this turn of events, and Oho explains what's going on together with the president and Ms. Granada, who just arrived. The takeover didn't mean an alien invasion, it means a takeover of their parents' powers. The new generation is always an improvement over the last one, and children are inheriting all of Earth's problems, so they need to fix them sooner rather than later. So the aliens infiltrated the government and the heroics headquarters to train the kids and accelerate the transfer of power, because on their planet, children are the leaders. The kids accept to become the new team of superheroes that will protect Earth and the galaxy with Missy as their leader. And now they've reached that agreement, they are allowed to reunite with their parents, who are all very proud of them for their heroic actions today.